Good evening. How you doing, Peralta family? Thank you all so much for being here this evening on this special occasion. My name is Abel Guillen, and I am a former trustee of the Peralta Community College District. And I'm currently serving as City Council member for District 2 in Oakland. I'm very honored to be here tonight because Peralta has always held a special place in my heart. The mission that we have is to educate the top 100% of students. Many students that, without Peralta, would not have the opportunity for educational success. I've seen firsthand what the Peralta colleges do to transform lives in our community, and they do a fantastic job of it. So let's give a round of applause to each of our colleges. Peralta also means a great deal for me because I'm the first in my family to graduate from college. And so many of our students that have come through Peralta, it has been the access point to change their lives, to stop the cycle of poverty, and to really change the world in many ways. We've had so many students come through the Peralta system year after year as a trustee in conversations throughout the community. Wherever I went, I told them that I was a trustee, and so many people had a connection to the Peralta colleges. And tonight, we are gathered here today to celebrate the best of the Peralta colleges and our students and their achievements. Thank you all for being here this evening. We hope that you have I think we have a great program for tonight. And wanted to start off by acknowledging, if you look around the room, we have this unique mosaic of people. We have educators, we have students, we have funders, we have partners, we have the alumni, the retirees, and many community leaders and leaders of the Peralta colleges. I am delighted to be here with you, and pleased at this time to ask the co-presidents of the Peralta Colleges Foundation, Gary Foss and Karen Friedman, to come up to the podium at this time.
So why are we here tonight? Well, the reason we're here, of course, is because we need to continue meeting the ever-growing need for scholarship funds, along with our supportive programming for students, and to ensure their short-term and their long-term success. And your generosity is helping us achieve this.
Well, good evening, and thank you all very much for being here. I'd like to echo Karen's comments that it's all about the students, and it's all about people like you in the room that have helped us move this program along. I'd like to also thank Karen for the years that we've worked together as co-presidents. And you might ask, why co? It's just a hard job. It takes two of us to actually get it done, or at least when we're in town. Throughout the history of the college district, a 50-year storied history, I might add, and I'd like to stop right here and interject something on my personal behalf. It's 50 years for the district. It happens to be 59 for me. I came to Oakland City College on Grove in 1956. So, thank you very much for that. I needed that. I don't look as old as I am, but there have been many leaders during that period of time that have come into the life of Peralta College, who have moved the district in many ways, who have helped, who have supported, who have been instrumental in developing what you see today, that 24,000 students enjoy. That's a huge jump for me from 1956, when there was just one building. Well, it's my pleasure to, at this time, distinct honor, I guess, to welcome on stage Dr. Jose Ortiz. Dr. Ortiz has created a strong legacy, a continued legacy for Peralta Community College District. We're grateful to him for his leadership.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I'm Dr. Ortiz, Chancellor of the Peralta Colleges. So let's give him a hand. Actually, I haven't seen too many. Okay. That was City Council Member Guillen telling me what to say next. But what he doesn't know is that when you tell me what to say, I never say it. So this is what I'm going to say. So first of all, good evening. Thank you for being here. I want you to know that this tuxedo that I'm wearing tonight, it is my tuxedo. It's not a rental. And I don't get many occasions to wear it, so that's why tonight I'm wearing this tuxedo. Plus, as I get older, I'm always wondering if I can fit into this tuxedo, and tonight it worked, so thank you very much. I'm still a size 34. No. Thank you all for being here. I want to thank the college presidents that are here. I saw Dr. Debbie Budd, the president of Berkeley City College. She's here. I know that Dr. Nora Webb is here. Dr. Webb, thank you for being here. And Laney College. Dr. Ambris Calavis is here for Marriott College. And Dr. Joylyn Blake for College of Alameda. She's here somewhere. Where is she? She's our newest president. Joy, thank you for being here. I want to thank all the presidents and the college staff for supporting this event. The vice chancellors for the Peralta Colleges. I know Vice Chancellor Sadiq Ikaro is here. Say hello, Sadiq. No, you don't have. We have our Deputy Chancellor, Dr. Eric Gravenberg, is here. Our Associate Vice Chancellor for Technology, Calvin Madlock, is here. Thank you, Calvin. Our Vice Chancellor for Finance, Susan Rennie, is over there somewhere with her husband, and her husband is happy to be here, I'm sure, right? Yeah. Trudy Lodgen could not be with us tonight. But anyway, I want to thank all the staff for supporting this event. I probably forgot someone, and I certainly want to thank the trustees for their support. And when we talk about support, we're really talking about our students. That's why we're all here. And the students in our service area, which is Oakland, Berkeley, Alameda, Albany, up and down this East Bay, if I may speak for them, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support, because we are overachievers and we're going to achieve thanks to your support. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Continue to have a great evening. Guillen said something for me to say, and I forgot already. So here's our here's our City Council Member Guillen. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Ortiz. Wow, this is a beautiful crowd. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's so great to see so many friends here tonight. As Karen and Gary and the Chancellor have all said, our work really here tonight and what the colleges do, Laney, Merritt, College Alameda, and Berkeley City College, it's all about our students. Each of our students has his or her story to tell. And tonight, you're in for a treat because we have two students here this evening that want to share with you a little bit about their journey and who they are. They have incredible, rich stories. Their success is as much because of people like you as it is their own narrative, intelligence, and tenacity. I am honored to ask Reagan Lolo to join me on stage, as well as Erica Padilla. the reason why we're here. Can you come up and please share a few words with us?
Thank you for being here. Thank you for inviting me. As I mentioned my accent to you, I'm from Haiti. If you're from Haiti, you're from an island in the Caribbean, and you're certainly from the poorest country of the Western Hemisphere, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, if you're from the countryside of Haiti, you are from the poorest section of the country. Now, if you're not lucky, you happen to be an orphan and a street kid, the odds are really against you. So you can see that everything that you need to fail are basically together. Well, what I just told you right now, that's my story. Now, despite all that, we didn't fail. And of course, we didn't fail. That's why I'm in front of you today. And thank you. Now, earlier, the gentleman had mentioned that he was the first of his family who graduated from college. When you're from Haiti, it's more likely that you didn't go to school. But of course, when you come from the countryside, your parents were farmers, they certainly didn't know how to read and write. And they still live today because, hey, I'm not that old. I mean, my parents still live, but they still don't know how to read and write. But me, I'm in college. This is a little pushing the envelope a little bit. But now, let me tell you that when I got here in the United States in October 2009, that was basically a couple of months before the deadly earthquake that hit the country that killed over 200,000 people. Now, in 2010, when I started school here at Peralta, that's when I got the news that my country was headed by an earthquake. Now, I am in a country, I was supposed to go back to Haiti shortly. I don't have family out here. How do you do? What do you do? Where do you start? Well, in Haiti, I used to teach in the communities because Haiti, we have an education problem, and I was part of this young movement where we created small school free for children in the neighborhoods, and we teach every evening. The idea that I promoted myself was that, hey, we know how to read and write, therefore we can teach our little brothers and sisters how to read and write. We don't have to be, scholars or teachers per se. And that's what we did. And by the time I come to America, we already had about 5 schools. And today, as I'm talking to you, I'm not over there, but these schools are still going on. And every year, we have 125 kids that graduated from these schools. And for myself, thank you. Now, here at Peralta, now you may wonder, hey, he's from Haiti and things like that. What is he here for? To tell me the story. Well, when I got here, if I used to teach in the community, I need some community thing to do. I didn't know exactly what to do. In a country that seems to have everything together, what do I do? Well, I joined the Oakland School District through some tutoring programs to teach and tutor in some of the toughest schools in the toughest neighborhood in East Oakland to help kids and also share my story with them to find a way to help them appreciate what they have. When I tell them the conditions in which that I went to school in Haiti, although they were young, but they still know how to appreciate that. I shared that with them. But now when I got into Peralta, I went to Alameda where I found great support. The support that I found over there basically enabled me to not only graduate, because what you have to understand is that when I'm from Haiti, I'm from a French system. So if I'm from a French system, when I come here, I don't have the credit necessary to actually send myself to one of the best schools here in America. So the Peralta system, basically, by its greatness, actually, prepared me. Like a high school student out here who might be struggling, you go to Peralta to get your GPA ready so that you can go to schools like Cal State East Bay, San Francisco, etc. So my time in Alameda basically enabled me to not only build a great GPA, but to be accepted at UC Berkeley, where I am in my last semester right now. So at Peralta, things were great. The GPA were great, and I see some folks say that I know here. Mr. Ortiz, certainly I met him. That's when I won the Chancellor Award, which basically was one of the things that enabled me actually to do what I had to do in order to be successful in college. So now I also see Miss Tony Cook, that basically great supporter when I was at Alameda. But now, when I go to Cal, at Peralta things are great, but when I go to Cal, we didn't stop there. The job kept going. we still have the best GPA that we can get. I'm double majoring in French and political science, and I still have a 4.0 in French. So it's good. Now, this is my last semester at Cal, but I have a last semester that I'm going to be spending with them, but not here in America. I'm going to be spending it in France. I'm going to be over there for my last semester, where I'm exploring going to law school. Why am I going to law school? Well, I'm telling you this to tell you the kind of people that you guys support. Here are they. When I tell you where I'm from, you may wonder how the heck this boy can now be observing the situation of the poorest country of the Western Hemisphere and still can dare say that, hey, you know what? My generation has a duty to change things in this country. But now, you know why the problem over there has something to do with you? It's because the United States is the closest partner of Haiti. And of course, the United States government use your money, taxpayers' money, to do things. When the United States is spending money in a country that generally politically corrupt, a lot of corruption, but your money is being used through corruption, wouldn't it be great one day to have one of yours go back there and kind of like straighten things out? This is the purpose. But now, the way you see me right now, I don't know exactly where I am at this point, but you can tell. When I'm talking, I'm very passionate about things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about politics, not because it's politics, it's simply because politics seems to affect the life of every one of us. Whether you're a doctor, engineer, whoever you are, the politician has some impact on your life. You know why? He decided how much of your money will go to the government. He decided a lot of things of your life. But now what I tell myself, if something is so important of my life, I need to be a part of it. And I understand that one reason why Haiti is where it is today is because of politics. Now I tell myself, if something affects myself and my people so much, I want to be a part of it to change the course of things. But now, I'm going to tell you why I know that I'm going to be successful in that. It's because of the help that you give through the foundation that actually help me not to necessarily have to struggle to look for a security job at night, so that I can spend the time needed, to study, to get the GPA that I get, to be accepted in the best law school of the country, which is my hope, and I know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen too because of your help. So I'm here to tell you that thanks for your help. Keep helping, because I'm sure that there are brighter minds than my mind over there that probably are struggling more than I was struggling, who needs your help so that they too can achieve their dream. Thank you very much.
Let's give another round of applause to Reagan Lolo. Now, if you'd help me welcome to the stage Erica Padilla. Erica.
Good evening. I would actually like for all of us to close our eyes and take 3 breaths together and be in this place, in this space, present. Thank you. I love that the Caribbean is 100% represented because my family's from Puerto Rico, so we are brother and sister in many ways, Reagan. And I'm looking out, and I'm seeing a community of friends. And I'm realizing from all the hugs that I got as I came into this space and the faces that I'm seeing, that we are a community of exceptional people. And one thing that's amazing about being a Laney College graduate, a Peralta Community College student, because most of us have been to more than one campus, is that we have 30,000 peers who are exceptional. Last year at this time, I was well on my way to graduation, and that was only because of the funding that I received from the foundation. A couple of days Before my birthday, in November, I was 10 days away from eviction. I was working really, really hard, and I was getting really, really great grades. And there was a gap between my need and my goal. And I was floored, brought to tears when I got Jessica's 1, 2, 3, 4 emails that I was a recipient of scholarships that would pay my back rent, that would pay my books for the spring semester, and that would allow me to complete my semester. I thought that I was not college material. Laney College welcomed me and helped me realize that I am college material. And all of you are here because you realize that we community college students are college material. I'm up here because I want to radically change oncology. I'm going to make a change for my patients, my pediatric oncology patients. So once I finish going to my nuclear medicine program at Kaiser, which I start on March 30th, I will work with organizations like the Benioff Hospital because I'm excited. I'm excited to change how we work with our young patients and their families and make it an integrative experience. And that's because supporters like you gave a woman like me an opportunity to discover my excellence. I thank you for being a mirror to myself, to students like Reagan, and for all the students in this room and the other almost 30,000 students that you support in this college system. We're proud to be your future neighbors, co-workers, leaders, and supporters. And you humble me. Thank you.
I'm Michael Mills. I'm the scholarship chair for the foundation. Reagan, Erica, you know why we're in business. This is why we're here. I want to introduce one more that I personally know because Margaret and I made a donation of $1,000 last year to the Peralta Foundation scholarships. Bonnie Cherry, would you please stand up? Hi. We didn't know Bonnie. We read her application. Margaret and I said, our money was well spent. This is why we do what we do. We make the donations. Now, I personally am a product of the Peralta District, okay? I went to Marriott College. Bobby Seal here? Where's Bobby? He and I, same year. Huey, they were on the other side of the cafeteria than I sat. Right? Same. If it wasn't for merit, I wouldn't have gone to San Francisco State and then to graduate school. I wouldn't have become a teacher. How many here, this is audience participation time, please. How many here have used one of our 4 schools as a stepping stone to a 4-year school or graduate school or a vocational program? Please stand up. Please stand. No hands. Stand up. Thank you. Now, for the rest of you who didn't see that, that's about almost half the house. Not bad. This is why we are in business. Now, scholarships. We give out scholarships. We have some that are $250. What value is a $250 scholarship? Oh, yeah? Ask the recipient. The recipient can put it down on his, her CV. Got a scholarship. Doesn't matter. That's validation for themselves. That their commitment is seen by others. Now, I'm going to put the hit on you. You've got envelopes on your table. You were once one of us. You still are. I bet you many of you contribute to your four-year and graduate schools? I bet you do. I get hit by my graduate school. I never forget merit. They got me up to that graduate school. So the envelopes are on your table, right? Now, I'm not going to put out a check this year, right here, my credit card. We're going to fund another $1,000 scholarship. Margaret and I will. It's going to be funded this fall for the foundation scholars. And I'm going to put validation right out here today. Please, for those of you who are able to, who see the value of all this, bear this also in mind. The vast majority of graduates from all of our high schools in the 6 areas do not go straight to college. They don't do it for a whole bunch of reasons. Pick one. They don't do it. Where do they go? They come to us. They come to us. We give them the 2 years preparation. They go to graduates or 4-year school and go beyond. They come to us for workplace training. How many students have been in our workplace training programs? This community, city community, dependent upon us for workplace training. Students depend on foundation for financial aid to get them through. You heard from Erica. You heard from Reagan, Bonnie Cherry. Margaret and I heard from Bonnie Cherry. Please, fill it out. Give it. I don't care what the funding is, but I'll tell you this. If you make it out for the Peralta Foundation Scholarship, $1,000, if you do it, your name will be on that award. The student, Bonnie Cherry, got the Michael, let's go alphabetical order, got the Margaret and Michael Mills Award. We contacted Bonnie, right? Your name will be attached to it. You give $1,000 to us, your name will be on that. What a prize. What a prize. And to know what you have done, and I thank you. I think I have a tagline here. Yeah, I have a tagline, which is the same thing I just said. Envelopes up, please, with something in it. We've got people to pick them up. And please, do not leave this place. $25, $100, $500, $1,000. Oh, $1,000, we'll put your name on it. Thank you. And the students, by the way, I noticed over at Berkeley City, that table, 4 students over there. I taught at that place for 25 years. Congratulations, students. Okay, thank you. Where are those envelopes?
Who's got an envelope? Wave your envelope. You got one? Great. Put it up. Be happy to make that collection. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. At this time, it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Oakland's #1 advocate and innovator and a hella leader. Mayor Libby Schaaf just took office 2 months ago and is working for changes that include job development, and we know the district colleges are pivotal points for our region and our city. I had the pleasure of touring Mayor Schaaf around District 2, my district, to show her what the needs are. And I needed to make sure that we made a stop at Laney College to show her that Laney is actually part of the solution to our workforce needs for our entire region and our city. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage Mayor Libby Schaaf, who is presenting our Partner in Education Award leader. Thank you so much, Libby.
All right, good evening. I am incredibly honored to be here in support of the Peralta Community Colleges Foundation. I don't always get a chance to talk about how special Peralta is to me personally. Like many people, I took classes at Laney to get UC Berkeley credit. But what I am most appreciative about Peralta is what probably a lot of people my age will maybe admit to, which is that we went to college at the time of the typewriter, and that we had to go, that's right. Do you remember typewriters? And it was at Laney College that I learned to use a word processor. So that's where my tech innovation culture started, at Peralta. I could not be more pleased than to present tonight's Education Partnership Award to the UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital. What an incredible institution for Oakland. It started with this idea that all children, no matter what their resources, deserved health care. And just as a fun fact, you know, the research center is actually built on the same site where the Black Panthers used to offer free sickle cell testing. So it all is together. Children's Hospital is a kind of institution that is not just an education partner. It is the kind of institution that makes us believe in the inherent goodness of Oakland. This is an institution that not only delivers health care, it delivers on those social determinants of health, of hope, of education, of the full spectrum of what we know makes people thrive. Here to accept the award tonight on behalf of UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital is Shanta Ramdahal. And as she comes up, she's the director of the Juvenile Justice Center at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital.
Thank you. Thank you, Peralta community, for believing in UCSF Children's Hospital as a partner in education. We don't only serve the nursing school, we serve children from 0 to 5 with a Too Small to Fail initiative, which was funded by the Clinton Foundation, where you could read and sing to your child to close the gap of education, to build on the word gap. We serve the Juvenile Justice Center, the court schools with Karen Monroe, Superintendent of Court Schools, where we not only help in the classroom. There was a program called Artful Healing, which I started after I found out that kids were really passionate about art. But we use that art not only to paint and draw. We brought in college students from Peralta Colleges, Cal State East Bay, UC Berkeley, and others, to sit within that group just to talk about life, to talk about college. There was 4 students in that group who never thought they could graduate from high school, let alone go to college. These kids graduated high school after mingling and talking with those students, and they started college right in the juvenile justice system through Merritt College. Hands to Merritt College. They're a great supporter of our students. So Children's Hospital, I am passionate about what we do, and it starts right from the top. From Dr. Bertram Lubin, our CEO of UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital, who I'm honored to accept the award tonight for. It is truly an organization that serves the community from 0 to 5 all the way to medical school, PhD programs at the Summer Corey Research Institute. Thank you. Thank you, Peralta Foundation.
Now it is my honor to call up to the stage a Peralta alumna, actually, who graduated from one of our programs, and she's going to present our first 2015 Hall of Fame Award. Please welcome my friend who has put up with me for 8 years as a trustee, and she'd always kind of kick me under the table when I sat next to her, who's been a good friend to the students, who's been an outspoken advocate for our students, and a fighter for education. Please help me welcome to the stage my good friend, Trustee Linda Handy.
I am so honored to be here to introduce our distinguished alumni. As many of you know, I attended Peralta Community Colleges. I attended the fashion design program many, many years ago. I'm not going to tell you when because I don't want you counting. I always thought I wanted to be a fashion designer, but God's biggest joke is us making plans. I was never able to be a fashion designer, but I was able to work in the college system that produces fashion designers and able to support the program and get funding to keep the programs going. And for that, I feel I am truly honored. I met Stella Caracassi last summer when I had the opportunity to tour her factory and see behind the scenes up close and personal. I was immediately taken by her elegance, her creativity, her energy, and commitment. We just could not stop talking. And in that conversation, I learned that she was a Peralta alumni, and also that she provided opportunity for employment to many of our graduates of the ADAM program. That's the Apparel Design and Merchandising program, which is now at the College of Alameda. Woohoo! Having come alone to the United States, leaving family behind when a friend suggested she join her, Stella sought out work, but knew there was a higher calling for her. She'd always been drawn to fashion, but I believe her mother did not want her to take that path. And she wanted to make it her career. As an immigrant without financial resources, she was not sure how she was going to make this happen. She found her way to College of Alameda and the Apparel Design and Merchandising program. She knew this was unique because she would learn the technical aspects of fashion and design and be prepared to take it all on, not merely the design aspect. This very specialized program provided Stella with their skills and the background to become a smart and innovative designer. The Stella Caracassi line is cutting edge, both in design and the use of sustainable fabrics. At this point, we're going to ask Stella Caracassi to come forward. Peralta Community College Foundation, celebrating 50 years of serving the community through education, proudly acknowledges our 2015 Hall of Fame awardee, Stella Caracassi, clothing designer and entrepreneur and College of Alameda alumni. And before we have Stella speak to you, I would like O.J. Roundtree, Derek Piazza, Hector Lopez, and Mary Patrone, teaching assistant, to all stand up. These are our fabulous faculty at the College of Alameda who's keeping this tradition going. Thank you all so much.
Good evening, everybody. I feel Linda already said everything that I was going to say. It is really an enormous honor to be here tonight, and I want to thank each and single one of you for honoring me. It was very unexpected, and I'm deeply humbled that I'm allowed to stand here in front of all of you. To make it really quick, because they only allow me 3 minutes to talk, and I will try to really honor that. As Linda said, it was August 15th, 1988, that I arrived in San Francisco as a very young woman with a head full of dreams and one suitcase. And the United States held the promise for me to realize my dream, to reinvent myself, and to really realize my full potential. I had a dream that I knew I wasn't able to pursue in my own country. I come from a very humble background. I'm from Greece. And as I arrived, it became very clear to me that fashion, who has been my passion ever since I was a little child, was kind of becoming difficult to pursue. The private schools that I looked into first had outrageous fees that I was not able to pay. My family did not have that kind of money. And me being an immigrant, and I was operating with a student visa that did not exist in the system, my fees would have been even higher because I was an out-of-state student. So I did not give up because, as the saying goes, where there is a will, there is a way. It took me a little longer, But through very fortunate circumstances, I stumbled across the College of Alameda, and I was completely taken back by the fact that the apparel design and merchandising program that they offered was the same, if not better, than a lot of the expensive schools offered. And that propelled me into making a very quick decision that this is exactly what I was going to do. I was enrolled as a full-time student. I was in college from 9 until 4, and at work from 4 until 2 a.m. in the morning on the weekends. I put myself through school. I did not qualify for student loans at the time, and I was committed. I was going to make this happen for myself. And I'm pushing the buttons fast forward. It's been 22 years that I've been in business, and I have incredible business partners. Without them, I wouldn't be here. I have a fabulous team that without them, I wouldn't be able to run my business. And I really, really, really want to especially thank Mr. Lopez, who is in the audience. Will you please stand up? Mr. Lopez and Mr. O'Hare, who unfortunately passed away several years ago, were my main teachers, my mentors. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish what I have, and I will be forever grateful for their guidance, for their knowledge, for supporting me and allowing me to spread my wings and fly. I've entered a new chapter in my life where I'm really pushing the envelope of becoming a much larger company than I have been so far. I do sell across the country. We have several hundred stores that I supply in the United States. We have a distributorship in Canada. And the new game that I'm finding myself in of doing bigger and better business, a lot of it has to do that I joined a mastermind group about a year ago, and my two main mentors are here in the audience, Sam Chan and Susan McGinnis. Will you please stand up? It is because of those two fabulous people in my life that actually set the foundation for me to think bigger and do better. And to all of the students in the audience, the one advice that I would like to give you is follow your dream. Where there is a will, there is a way. And I've learned a lot of lessons in my life in business, and I'm not going to bore you with the 22 years of experience that I have. But your toughest moments are your greatest teachers, and where there are walls, doors will open if you believe in yourself, and failure only exists if you give up. Thank you very much. In closing, I would really like to thank the Peralta Colleges Foundation, the Board of Trustees, and all the sponsors. I'm probably just one of the many that could be standing here today. I can't even begin to tell you what a difference you make in people's lives, because we all come from all walks of lives, and a lot of us don't have the opportunity to have our education served on a silver platter. But we all have dreams, and we all have potential, and you make it happen, and I'm just one of the many. Thank you so much.
Wow. I told you Peralta changes lives, and now you have proof, right? Not only does Peralta change lives, we also change society. And Peralta has a rich history of affecting social change in our community and indeed our country. At this point, I'm honored to ask Dr. Norma Ambris Calavis to the stage. Dr. Ambrisca Levis was appointed president 2 years ago with extensive years in community colleges and the majority of those years in the East Bay. As a first-generation student herself, Dr. Ambrisca Levis is familiar with the challenges of urban and rural first-generation college students. In her role, she continues to pursue social justice and equity for student success with a high degree of commitment to her office and the culture of merit at Merit and throughout the district. She will present our final award this evening. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Norma Ambrisca Levis.
Truly, this evening has been a wonderful opportunity to acknowledge the importance of education, but the opportunity to acknowledge the importance of being part of Peralta. It is very unique in that we really truly put meaning, and as Abel said, change lives. So in this opportunity, we have acknowledged the 50 years of the rich history in serving our community. This 50 years, again, came along in a period of transition 50 years ago, where we had a lot of young people at that time trying to deal with the issues at hand, which in their opinion had to do with institutionalized racism, poverty. It was the 60s, okay? Students and community folks were seeking change in many ways. Some of them, of course, followed the path of nonviolence led by Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. And others took a different path. One of those young people at that time was Mr. Bobby Seale. Bobby was a student at Merritt College at the time, and in 1965, he shared the platform of the Black Panthers with his fellow students. His energy, his strength, along with his fellow students, motivated many to take a different path toward that change. But because of Bobby's work, he was a change agent and continues to do the work and to remind us about the importance of activism and, again, stepping up and being able to articulate in our own voices and our own actions the change that needs to be made. So it is with that grateful acknowledgement to him that we are glad to present our second Hall of Fame award to Bobby Seale. I am sorry to tell you that, unfortunately, Bobby got ill this week, and he could not be here in person to accept the award. But we will be sharing the appreciation, but we also have a very, very good friend of his.
I first thank the Board of Trustees and the Foundation for presenting Bobby, inducting him into the Peralta Community College Hall of Fame. But before I do that, there are a couple of things he wanted me to mention. One, he would have wanted me to say that Marvin X is here. And Marvin X was the foundation of the first major rally that we had at what was then known as Oakland Junior College. I started Merit myself in 1961. Not long as the other gentleman that was here pretty earlier, but long enough. We had a good time learning how to adjust to an environment that was completely foreign to us. And I think most of it started when they used to have something in Merit called Pioneer Day. And one day Bobby Seale said, well, were there any black people involved in Western expansion? So that started to change. And then we put together something called an anti-Vietnam rally in the auditorium. Remember the old auditorium at Merritt College? And it was packed. And in that, we needed to have something to attract students because we needed to educate about the war in Vietnam and what it was doing to our economy, to our people, and to people who, quite simply, could not explain why we were even over there. So we had Marvin X put together his play called flowers for a trash man. And it sold out. It was just packed. People were waiting to get in. And from there, we decided that we needed an organization on campus. So because Huey wasn't a student, as has been pointed out, on campus, and Bobby was a part-time student, I suspect I was the only full-time student. And I became the chairman of the Soul Students Advisory Council those years ago. And from there, we challenged the institution there, and as Bobby indicated in the clip, and how we would get established. Black history in those days is what it was called. We fought for it. We went on street corners, talked about it to all of the students, anyone who would listen. Finally, they said, well, okay. Dino said, let's give it a try. And we ended up with one Black history class, and they thought so much of us, they assigned it to someone that had just completed his master's at UC Berkeley, didn't have his PhD, and he didn't look like us. He took that experience and became a tenured professor at Rutgers University in African American history. His name was Dr. Rodney Carlisle. It was a great time. We fought hard and we won most of the battles. There's somebody else that was here earlier, and we moved this battle to UC Berkeley. Is Charlie Brown still here? You guys know Charlie Brown. Great student activist. So we had, and my brother here, Dr. Riley, in the new generation of Marriott College, was the first Black student body president. If you didn't know that. I suspect it won't be long before you'll be inducting him. He didn't pay me to say that. And then, but I must say, and he would want me to say, Paul Cobb is here. Paul is an activist par excellence. Paul moved from the fields of Selma to the streets of Oakland. Now he publishes a newspaper, the Oakland Post, and it goes beyond just Oakland. El Mundo, Paul, and beyond. So we have a rich history here in Oakland, a rich history here at Marriott and Peralta Community College. And the only thing that we can do is to understand, only through education, does change occur. And if we don't understand that, we'll have a problem. Because the next generation of leadership will take it beyond the marching of Selma, will take it beyond the Voting Rights Act. And no longer will they begin to say, as Bobby said at one time, we have achieved those gains. Now let's go to the next level. But it's for others to take it to the next level. This young man right here who spoke so eloquently about change and his commitment to change reminds me of a young Paul Cobb who was battling for change right here in Oakland and as a student. So I'm going to close by just simply saying this. The facts of how the history of Marriott has been written have been distorted, not on purpose, but when you don't write your own history, you have to read what people write about you. So we have to begin to establish a repository of the record and the correct record for Peralta, the correct record. We can't have people becoming the experts of Peralta who haven't had the Peralta experience. We cannot have that. So we must understand whether it's you here or you there, someone must begin to chronicle the history, the historical and rich history of Marriott College. The great Ray Norton, the Olympic sprinter, the former congressman, chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, Ron Dellums. It's been a rich history, full with academics, full with athleticism, and certainly full with activism. That activism won't die because that is the citadel and the call of Marriott and Peralta College. Thank you very much.
Well, the hour certainly has gotten late, and I see some sleepy faces. But before I dismiss you all, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for coming here tonight and learning the role that each one of you plays, really day in and day out, in changing the lives of our students, many for whom which education would not be possible. I want to leave you with this one tidbit. The state of California funds the UC student at $23,000 per year. The Cal State system, each student gets a subsidy of about $16,000 per year. And at the Peralta Colleges, where we take 100% of the students, the state only subsidizes our students to the tune of $6,000. And we take the top 100%, every student that walks in our door, we take them and we help them, and our staff are committed and our teachers are committed to making sure that they can be the very best that they can be. There are many people here tonight who made this event possible. Many nights and years actually worth of work, not just tonight. I'd like to recognize some of those folks, and would you please stand and please give a round of applause at the end as I call your name. Judy Bryson, Carmen Farley, Jane Fong, Stephanie Harding, Becky Sitt, Kanitha James, Pat Jameson, Laura Leon Maurice, Josephine Roan, Elena Smalley, Leorna Tucker, and Lisa Watkins Turner. Would you please stand and be recognized? I also wish to give, on behalf of the foundation, an extra special thanks to our longtime planners and coordinators of these dinners, friends that I met while I was at the Peralta Colleges, folks that always went the extra mile to make sure that they served our students and stayed late even when they didn't have to. That's Ann Childress, Dr. Herb Kitchen, and Irvin Robinson. Would you please stand? And lastly, to the Peralta Colleges Foundation staff, Kaia Burkett, Kiko James, and Jessica Keehee, thank you for your work up to the last minute to make sure that tonight would be as smooth and beautiful as it was. Wasn't it beautiful? Also, before I forget, I want to make sure that the beautiful centerpieces at your tables were actually put together by our horticulture students up at Merritt College. So if you would look under your saucer for a little tab, a little color tab, if you have that saucer this tab under your plate, you get to take that beautiful centerpiece home. Don't fight over it now. To everyone, there's more events happening at the foundation. Please stay connected. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. And as you leave this evening, please drop your name tags at the foyer so that we may recycle them. Thank you everyone so much. Have a great evening. And thank you so much for being here. Have a good night.